We met in high school. We met the first day of high school, actually.
I mean, literally, it's weird, but I knew that, she was going to be my girlfriend, basically. And we just became really good friends, and then I tried to ask her out 100 million times, and she said no for about 100 million times.
And he was my best friend, so I would always talk to him every night. But I dated different people through high school, and and then eventually I was, he had asked me out multiple times, and I was like, no, I don't know. And then we started dating, and it was junior year that I finally said yes.
I think it was junior year. I hope I'm right on this too. Babe, I'm sorry if I'm wrong on the dates. I think it was junior year, January 1st. She finally said yes, that she'll go out with me.
It was Christmas Eve of junior year, and he had asked me if he would, if I would meet him so he could give me a gift. And then we met, and he gave me this teddy bear that had a necklace on it, and then it was recorded, and the teddy bear said, "Merry Christmas, Reanna, I hope you like it." And so then I was like, oh my God, that was the sweetest thing ever. And then he was like, well, can I have a kiss? And I said yes, and we've been together ever since that day. We started dating January 1st, and that was it.
Fast forward a couple of years, got out of high school, moved in together. She made dinner one night and put a piece of paper down that said, "You're pregnant."
I obviously had found out that I was pregnant with our first son before he knew. So I went to the doctor. So I took a test at home. It said yes. I was terrified. And so then my best friend and I went to the doctor, and they said yes once again, and I was terrified again. And so he came home, and I was shaking, I'm oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to tell him. So we were sitting on the couch in the living room, and we ate dinner, and I don't even remember what I said, but he was there, and I just grabbed the paper that the doctor had given me, and I handed it to him. And he opened it, and he was kind of confused on what it was. And then he just was okay, very shocked. And then he just got in the shower and was crying in the shower and was super terrified. But then he came out of the shower and gave me a big hug, and he was like, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. It wasn't planned, but it's gonna be perfect. It'll be just fine." And he was very sweet. We used to always go on a date night. Once a month, we'd go on a date night and have a babysitter for Landon. And so he planned a date night, and we went down to dinner, and we went to Olympia, and we were dancing, and it was a really fun night. And then we go head back toward Shelton, and we were gonna stay at the casino, and we pull into the casino, and he reaches in the door, and he's like, "Hey, do you know where my sunglass case went?" And I was like, "No, I have no idea." And he was like, "Where my sunglass case? It was right here." And I was like, "I don't have any idea. I don't know. Let's go let's go into the casino and get our room."
I had set up in the hotel at Little Creek, hotel room I had strawberries and chocolate and rose petals everywhere, and a bottle of champagne or whatever, and this big elaborate plan. And I had the ring with me. Well, we were going out to all the bars that night, and I kept finding myself pulling money in and out of my pocket. I'm like, I better do something with this ring, I know I'm just gonna lose it. So I had an Oakley bag And I was like, I'll just put it in there and put it in the car door, you know, because I had a pretty good door pocket or whatever. So I did, and we stayed out or whatever. It was all probably about till midnight, 11 o'clock. We finally were like, okay, well, let's go back to the hotel, you know. And so we drive back to Little Creek, and I stop, pull into the parking garage or whatever, and go to grab the ring out of the door, and it's not there. And so I'm kind of like, well, that's weird. But I'm trying not to like make it noticeable that I'm looking for something. So she's sitting there, and I'm like, you know, looking around, kind of like searching through the door. And pretty soon she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just looking for something. And like, it's nowhere in the door. And so I open the, you know, center console, and now I'm starting to, you know, panic a little bit. And she's really like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I lost something. I have to find it. It's got to be in here. And pretty soon everything's out of center console. Everything's out of the door. Everything's out of the glove box. I'm pulling floor mat out. I mean, like, I'm at this point in panic mode. And she's like starting to get a little irritated. Like, what are you looking for? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like, it's very expensive, and you're going to be really pissed off if I don't find what I'm looking for right now. And I'm in the middle of the parking garage, like, freaking out. It's not in the car.
And he was like, you have no idea, like, where's my sunglass case? And I was like, so then I was like, what in the world? Like, why would he care that much about a sunglass case? And so he like slams the door, and we get back on the freeway, and he's like screaming the whole ride back to Olympia. And he's like yelling like, you don't understand, like, I need that sunglass case. And so then I was like, okay, like something's up for sure. And
finally, at some point in there, I tell her, like, there's an engagement ring that costs a lot of money somewhere, and it's not in the car. So I jump in, just leave the car's a mess, and probably get to Olympia in about 10 minutes.
So we're like doing 100 probably back to Olympia. And I'm scared now because I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know like what is in the bag. And so then we like pull downtown Olympia, and we like pull into the parking lot.
Get downtown. Go where our last stop was, which is, I don't know, whatever bar. It was anyways a main parking lot right across from, I think it was the Vault at that time or something like that. There's a little, you know, main parking lot right across the street. I mean, there's people everywhere. It's like midnight at this time. People are leaving. And I'm just, the whole way back, she's like, I can't believe you did this. Like, and I'm like, where the f is this ring? Like, there's no way I lost this. This can't be happening. Like, she's like, you're gonna get pulled over. And I'm like, I don't care. You know, I gotta, well, get downtown, go to turn into the parking lot.
And it was seriously like as the headlights went across the pavement, like you saw this ripple, and there was the bag.
And literally as I come around, my headlights hit a bag in the middle of this parking lot.
We both like looked at each other, and he like jumped out of the car, his car running. He like grabs the bag, and then my ring was in it, and he just was like in the car leaning in, and he was like, Reanna, will you marry me? And I'm crying, and he's crying, and it was the craziest night, and I could not believe that our ring was still in that bag in the parking lot downtown. It was insane.
You know, obviously this isn't how I planned it. You already know what we were looking for. You know, will you marry me? And she's like, yes, blah, blah, blah. And just like, we could not believe it. We're in shock. Just like, that was the craziest thing that, you know, it was there, that I lost it. It was just nuts. It was a crazy night.
I know that we'll be together forever, but I hope that we just stay happy and we stay, able to make each other laugh forever until we're 100 years old. I want our kids to grow old, with us, and I just want us to stay focused on them, and I know that we will. Donnie is a great dad, and we are both so focused on our kids. I just love everything about Donnie. I love how he can make me laugh no matter what. I love how protective he is. Definitely one of a kind. I've never met anyone like him that cares so much for his wife and kids. So I just hope that we stay that tight and that we stay happy and fun.
I just want to say thank you. You really have put up with a lot. And I mean, really, you are everything to me. I know I wouldn't be where I am today without you. And I owe it all to you. I do. I love you.
Okay, so I'm so excited that we're finally doing this. Our journey has been crazy together, and we've come from, so young, and we've grown so much over these 13 years that I wish that we would have done it sooner, but I just am so happy that we're finally doing this, and I love you more than anything, and I will love you for my whole life. I just want you to know that you are an amazing husband and dad, and I just could not ask for anybody better than you.